episode. I'll send a link to my YouTube page because they actually just uploaded up to my YouTube page right
Yes.
now. I'll be sure to send Max and Spencer a link to that so they can put it on their page. Awesome. But enough about the technical difficulties. Let's get talking about the one and only Bullet Club.
Now,
Life.
do we know that it's going to be called Bullet Club if they come to WWE?
I am
Or
pretty sure it's going to be Balor Club.
yeah,
It's either going to be Balor Club or it's going to be Bulletproof, from what I've been hearing.
I've heard Bulletproof
Where'd you-
Balor
where'd you
Club. I've
guys-
heard
Where'd you guys hear Bulletproof?
Finn Balor's Instagram. He's been plugging Bulletproof a lot lately.
I'm not gonna lie. I do kind of hope they go with Balor Club. Not
Right.
even because it's more of a more obvious nod to Bullet Club, but just because
It makes
I
more
don't
sense
know.
because he was the innovator. He was the guy behind, the actual Bullet Club. It makes sense, actually.
Well, that's not even my rationale. My rationale is just Bullet Club and Balor Club sound like the names of a faction, an organization. Bulletproof is a description. You know, it doesn't sound. I know that sounds really almost petty, but
No, I
that
guess.
doesn't sound like a team name. That sounds like you're describing them like we're so good, we're bulletproof. It's like, okay, your name is still stupid.
it's it's like comparing the team of Nia Jax and Eva. It's like we're so good, we're horrible.
Hey, no.
Not all right. That is not cool.
That's
we
a
do
bad-
not mention Finn Balor or New Japan Pro Wrestling within 30 sentences of Eva Marie.
Shame him.
Shame.
Shame
Y'all
him.
A booty. Y'all a booty.
But do you guys think that they're gonna debut, Balor Club or Bullet Club at Mania
No.
or the night after?
No.
I think it.
Well,
I think
Spencer and you and I were talking about this.
Yeah, we talked about this, I think, either last week or the week before.
No, I was talking when you were taking me home after Nate and I were at your house. What was that? Like a day or two ago?
Oh, yeah, on Thursday.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the way back to my place.
Yeah, and I think, if anything, they'd wait till after Mania.
Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly what you and I said, and it was a pretty good discussion about it.
My rationale for it, at least if I remember. Yes, if I remember my own rationale, I'm not drunk. I'm not. I swear to officer, I'm not god drunk. But no, but I think turning him heel at because people have been throwing out different times oh, turn him heel at TakeOver Dallas, turn him heel some way at Mania, turn him heel like the day after, turn him heel as soon as he comes up to Raw. Turning him heel at Dallas is, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, it is one of the worst times to do it.
Oh yeah.
One reason, Smojo's heel.
True.
You gotta make a heel. These days, you have to make a heel turn. It's like Adam Blampier said when he was booking, how John Cena would, would have broken the Undertaker streak by turning heel.
Right.
You gotta people want that heel turn, but you gotta give it to him in a way that they don't want because it's him turning into a bad guy. My thoughts on it would be, he successfully wins he retains the title at, say, TakeOver Dallas, or maybe Joe heals up and trounces the Demon somehow, whatever. He's still a face. He's a face when he comes up to Raw. He's a face for a while, maybe until he gets his first title belt even. And then finally, somehow, he's backed into a corner, he's in a match that he can't win or whatever, and that's when you bring out Gallows and Anderson. That's when you form the club. That's when you turn him heel. Because then, you could turn him heel on someone who's a really beloved babyface, like Sami Zayn or whoever.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's hard to disagree. I think that Balor's going to be a phenomenal heel, and we talked about it earlier. The at NXT in Green Bay, they actually showed quite a bit of the whole Bullet Club deal and the whole thing between Finn Balor and Sami Zayn, which honestly, honest to God, best match I have seen on a live show. I don't care if they put in Undertaker and Kane or Triple H and whatever. Balor versus Zayn was just hands down awesome, and I am going to die happy.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my god, that match was beautiful.
Yeah, like you said, the signs are there. The the moves are starting to come. At live events, flashing the Bullet Club gun thing at Sammy while he's in the abdominal stretch, or while he's standing on the turnbuckle and he points it at his own head, and even on NXT where he's bringing back the Bloody Sunday, or now called the 916 for PG purposes.
Really?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. 1916 is the year of the Irish Rebellion on Easter Sunday. So, in all honesty, it's known as
Bloody Sunday.
Thank you, Max.
And in fact, I actually looked it up. That is what it, like, if you say you're a kid in Ireland and you're going through school, that is actually what it is historically known as.
Right.
You open your school textbook, Battle of Bloody Sunday. It's, honestly, I really dig it. It's a clever reference. Which, never thought I'd say that about WWE. Oh god, WWE did something smart. Oh god.
Run for the hills!
Oh god!
Oh my
Toxic
god.
cats living together, mass hysteria!
But yeah, he will be heel within the next year. Guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'd put my money on that.
I'd even put my money on the next 6 months.
Yeah,
You know,
honestly. 6
'cause
months, that's
it's-
plenty
it's-
enough time to get him up to the main
Yeah.
roster, establishes him as a face, and puts, like, a belt or whatever on him.
I would say Finn Balor comes up to the main roster within the next couple months.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I've heard
think
reports that they might wait until like after SummerSlam, but if you're smart, which
Actually, how about debuting him at SummerSlam? It's their second biggest show. That's a big platform for him.
I would have said yes until we've heard the report that John Cena is going to be out longer. You need a viable top babyface until he returns.
You got Dean Ambrose for that though.
They've already proven. I'm not saying this
Yeah.
as a joke. They've kind of already shown that they're not really willing to do that. At least not yet. It's sad, but true. To quote Metallica.
But yeah,
Or they became a bunch of wussies. Shots fired, sorry.
oh boy,
Shots fired.
shots fired.
No disrespect, Metallica, but okay, maybe a little bit, but
Un poco, senor.
We all, look, load, reload, Saint
Deleted.
Anger. Saint Anger did happen. It did happen. It did happen. We got Death Magnetic in 2008, and it made everything better.
like Max Rage.
No, you just made Max. You made the tiny metal head inside of Max sad.
You'll get over it.
Fuck you. You get over it. Suck it
Just
up,
shut up
little
and
man.
live with it, Max.
Suck it up, little man.
Yeah, little boy.
Oh, now it's little boy. Anyway, getting back to, I almost called him Finn Devin.
You watch. That's gonna be when he turns completely heel. He's not gonna be Balor.
Stop it! Stop it! It's a bad Spencer. You stop it. That's
All
not
right.
funny.
That was so
Little
perfectly
funny.
timed. That was good.
That really was.
I love
Oh my
my
God.
sound effects.
You're like a kid in a candy
I
store.
am.
Oh my god. Anyway,
So
I-
we've talked a lot about we've vented a lot, we've talked a lot. I think we need to start thinking about more positives. And you know something, guys? I am more than willing to pass the torch over to you guys. You deserve a lot of credit. You guys have done such a phenomenal job in the last few months that you guys have done your live streams, you've done your podcast. I mean, you've interviewed, Sami Zayn. You've not necessarily Brian Zayn.
I was gonna say, holy shit, where was I when we interviewed Sammy?
where is this alternate timeline, and why am I not in it?
Now, in all fairness, we have secured an interview with Marty the Moth from Lucha Underground.
And no, he's not an actual moth. So
No, it's not an actual moth. So
It is, however, shockingly good. Seriously, go watch Aztec Warfare 2 anyway. If you
Yeah.
have already watched it, why haven't you watched it 4 times already? What's wrong with you?
yeah, I mean, you got to remember that Lucha Underground is a very different program than WWE Raw and NXT.
Oh.
It's
I mean, that's
it's
true.
TV 14.
Leaps
It's TV
It's
14. So
I mean, it's different, but at the same time, there's 2 schools of thought on Lucha Underground. One school of thought is that you like it. The other school of thought is that you're wrong.
it took me a second to realize what the hell you're talking about.
Like, what are you talking about? You crazy?
You either like LU or you're not correct.
But yeah, the interview with Brian Zane, I mean, actually, to be completely honest, I listened to it last night. That was our first interview, and he honestly has so much knowledge in the wrestling world and the indie circuit, because he is originally from the indie circuit.
Is he still a referee and all that?
I think a little bit on the side, but I think he's focused a lot on his YouTube channel over the last year or so, because he's
exploded.
Yeah, and
he described himself as basically very funny. Described himself as basically kind of like being the nostalgia critic of pro wrestling, and the nostalgia critic. Hell, I love that guy. I watch him, and he gets enough viewers that he's able to make a living. Like, he's married, his wife has a job, but they both make enough from their two incomes that they're pretty well off. Zane, I love the fact that there's a friggin' nostalgia critic version of wrestling version of the nostalgia critic. That's friggin' great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that was our first interview, and that was really when we were, I don't want to say new, but we were still working out ways to run the show. And, we were still trying new things out, and, does this work? Does that work? And honestly, over the last 5 or 6 weeks, we've kind of solidified what we're doing as a program. And honestly, the reason we started the show was because of you. You say you've started your show because you would listen to our nemesis Zach, but it's true. I mean, it's this chain of thing where, like, you're listening to a podcast and you're like, I have a different opinion. I respect your opinion, but I have a different opinion,
and I'd like to express it.
Right. And podcasting, is the easiest thing to do. It's always free. You can do it for however long you want. I mean, we've been doing this show for well over 2 hours, and it turns to the point where it's something that you have to do, and it's fun to do. I mean, like, every single week.
I have a blast doing this with you guys. There we go.
Yeah, and the fact that we've met people because of the show, like Chris and AJ from Smart Money Podcast. We've met them because of this show. I don't think we would have recognized them at NXT Live in January in Green Bay if it wasn't for this show. So it allows people to listen to your side of things, and it's not just about bitching and moaning that WWE is the shittiest thing on the planet right now. And
if you want
that's only like what, 75-80% of what we do.
But we present it in a way like, here's the possibility of how to fix things, and we respect
criticize rather than just slam it.
Right. And that's not disrespecting any show whatsoever. But that's just how we do things. We don't slam things for the slam of we don't slam. The show's off the rails.
And the Slammy for slamming slams goes to Spencer.
The Grammy Award winning. No. But we don't slam things for the sake of slamming things. We slam them because they deserve to be criticized.
Yeah, we want them to be better.
Right. The build up to WrestleMania 32. That's the easiest thing to criticize right about, because first of all, everybody's criticizing it, and they have a right to. But as far as like I've said on our show numerous times, this will probably be the first or second time you've heard this, Nathan. I started this show just thinking that it was going to be me just ranting and raving about WWE programming until my lungs gave out. But as fate would have it, Max started at the station where I work, and he's a fucking huge WWE fan and pro wrestling fan.
A little bit.
Yeah, he adds the, I don't want to date Max by any means saying this, but he adds the long knowledge and the long time viewership of a WWE fan.
You see here, Sonny.
Let me tell you something there, Sonny. But no,
I'll have you know, back in my day, we didn't know what the term heel was. We thought that shit was real.
yeah. But no, seriously, I'm so glad I met Max because he adds the knowledge of what's happened